I tried 25 of the most iconic, underrated, and outrageous foods in Chicago, and 3 of them totally blew my mind. From deep dish to secret menu desserts, here's what made this 48-hour feast unforgettable. Chicago is one of the most diverse and delicious food cities in the world. From world-famous deep dish pizza to family-run taco joints, the Windy City serves up a flavor bomb on every block. With just 2 days, I made it my mission to eat my way through as many of the city's best dishes as humanly possible. This wasn't just about stuffing my face. It was about exploring culture, tradition, creativity, and local passion. Food is how Chicago tells its story, and I wanted to hear every bite of it. After 25 different dishes, some were unforgettable, and some were just okay, but 3 completely blew my mind. This is my 48-hour journey through the best bites in Chicago. Let's start the clock and the eating. Which breakfast dish set the tone for a non-stop food adventure? My first stop was Wildberry Pancakes and Cafe, located right near Millennium Park. This place is always buzzing, and for good reason. I kicked things off with their signature Berry Bliss pancakes, and they were decadent, fluffy, and bursting with flavor. I also tried their loaded skillet, complete with crispy hash browns, peppers, sausage, and gooey cheese. It was savory, hearty, and exactly what I needed to fuel an intense day of non-stop eating. Between sips of strong local coffee and bites of syrup-soaked pancakes, I already had 2 food items down and was just getting started. Breakfast in Chicago isn't just a meal, it's an event. And this was the perfect launch pad for my 25-dish challenge. What Chicago classics made the cut and actually delivered? No Chicago food journey is complete without deep dish pizza, so I headed to Lou Malnati's for their buttery, crispy crust and layered cheese masterpiece. One bite, and I instantly understood the hype. It's heavy, yes, but rich, balanced, and surprisingly nuanced. Next up was the Italian beef sandwich at Portillo's. I ordered it dipped with hot giardiniera. The roll soaked in beef juice, the spicy crunch of peppers, and the savory meat created an absolutely insane combination of flavor and texture. I also squeezed in a Chicago-style hot dog with all the fixings, including mustard, onions, relish, pickles, tomato, sport peppers, and celery salt. No ketchup, of course. It was tangy, salty, and uniquely satisfying. By the end of lunch, I'd already hit 5 dishes, and my taste buds were on fire in the best way possible. What off-the-radar spots stood out more than the big names? While the classics were great, it was the hidden gems that truly shocked me. I explored Pilsen, a vibrant neighborhood rich in Mexican culture, and stopped at Carnitas Uruapan. Their carnitas tacos, crispy, juicy, and no frills, were a revelation. I then hit up Ruby's Tacos at the Maxwell Street Market, where women make hand-pressed tortillas on site. Their al pastor tacos with grilled pineapple were sweet, spicy, and addictive. Another surprise? A tiny donut shop called Do Right Donuts, where I grabbed a maple bacon donut. Sweet, salty, soft, and smoky, it became an instant favorite. These under-the-radar bites had flavor and heart, and they reminded me that sometimes the most memorable meals are the simplest. Did Chicago's upscale dining impress, or overpromise? I reserved dinner at Girl and the Goat, one of Chicago's most talked-about restaurants. The vibe was energetic, the service impeccable, and the dishes, like roasted pig face and sautéed green beans, were creative, bold, and flawlessly executed. Next up was the Aviary, a cocktail experience as much as a meal. Every drink was a performance, from glass orbs to edible mist and even foam towers. I paired it with a few small plates that matched the theater of it all. For contrast, I visited Cheval for their legendary burger. It's greasy, simple, messy, and somehow still elevated. The hype is real. With thick bacon and a fried egg on top, it was one of the richest, most satisfying burgers I've ever eaten. These upscale meals were unforgettable, not just because of the flavors, but because of the stories, precision, and personality behind every bite. How did I power through the end of each food-packed day? After a full day of eating, you'd think I'd stop, but Chicago's late-night food scene had other plans. I went to the Wiener Circle, known as much for its sass as for its hot dogs. Their char dog, paired with a loud late-night crowd, was iconic. I also grabbed tater tots loaded with cheese and jalapenos at a food truck near Wrigleyville. They were crispy, salty, and just greasy enough to feel rebellious. On the sweeter side, I visited Bombo Bar, where I got a hot chocolate topped with marshmallow fluff and 2 mini bomboloni. It was a sugar bomb and I didn't regret a single sip. These late-night snacks weren't just fuel, they were memories. After dark, Chicago still has plenty to say, and it says it with bold flavor and no apology. Out of 25 dishes, which ones completely shocked and amazed me? Number 1. The Italian beef at Portillo's, dipped and spicy. The layers of flavor, the experience was messy, the addictive richness, it was pure Chicago in sandwich form. It went from expected to life-changing in one bite. Number 2. The Al Pastor taco at Rubi's Tacos. The freshness of the handmade tortilla, the spice of the pork and the juicy hit of pineapple was simple, bold and perfect. It was one of the best tacos I've had anywhere. Number 3. The burger at Cheval. It looked basic, but it was anything but. The textures, the smoky bacon, the yolky egg, every component worked together in harmony. There were no fancy tricks, just pure execution and balance. They made me stop, savor, and remember why I started this whole challenge in the first place. What surprising moments made this food journey more than just about taste? Food is about flavor, but the unexpected moments are what truly make a trip memorable. One surprise came while I was walking through Chinatown looking for dim sum. I stumbled upon a small bakery selling warm pineapple buns fresh from the oven. I wasn't even hungry, but the smell pulled me in. One bite, and I was hooked. Another standout moment came during a rainy afternoon in Wicker Park. I ducked into a tiny cafe and ordered a random special, a spicy Korean fried chicken sandwich. The flavors were bold and the heat lingered in the best way. But it was the conversation with the chef who told me it was her grandma's recipe that made it unforgettable. I also had an emotional moment at a family-run deli in the suburbs where I tried a matzo ball soup recommended by a local. The warmth, simplicity, and heart behind that bowl reminded me why food content isn't just about what we eat, it's about who makes it and why they care. These weren't necessarily the top 3 mind-blowing dishes, but they were deeply meaningful, proving that sometimes the smallest bites bring the biggest joy. You can't plan these moments. That's what makes them so special. What did 25 dishes in 48 hours really show me about food, travel, and memories? After eating my way through 25 different Chicago foods, I realized the best meals aren't always about hype or price. They're about authenticity, surprise, and connection. The top 3 dishes were incredible, yes, but the moments in between added even more flavor. Food has a way of bringing people together. Whether it was chatting with locals at a taco stand or learning about a family recipe from a proud chef, each encounter was just as important as each bite. It reminded me that behind every plate is a story waiting to be heard. Chicago is rich with culture, heritage, and invention, and its food scene reflects all of that. If you're open to exploring beyond the surface, you'll discover meals that not only satisfy your hunger but leave a lasting imprint on your mind and heart. So the next time you find yourself in Chicago, don't just chase the famous dishes, stay open to the unexpected. Because in the end, those surprises might just be what blows your mind the most. Are you hungry for more? I've got you covered. Which of the 25 Chicago foods would you try first? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for more wild 48-hour food adventures from around the world. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.